Yo, Strong Opinion Sports has a store. Shirts, hoodies, everything. It's all on sale until the end of November. Go buy stuff. On Sunday last week, in what I would call the best game of the week, the Arizona Cardinals beat the Buffalo Bills 32-30. And it took a last-second heave into the end zone by Kyler Murray with 11 seconds left. DeAndre Hopkins had a really amazing catch for a touchdown. His hands, I see this vision of DeAndre Hopkins' hands going up above everybody else's hands, raising up above and everyone else's hands around it. It's a really cool image. And I don't know, it's crazy and cool. So right off the bat, I got to say this, I guess, is that as you look back at two moves that were made last offseason, receiver Stephon Diggs was traded to the Buffalo Bills, and receiver DeAndre Hopkins was traded to the Arizona Cardinals. It's funny, they both played each other. They both had a really big impact on the game. One had the game-winning catch. Both trades have paid off immensely for the Arizona Cardinals and the Buffalo Bills. There's no debate about it. I think especially the Texans trading away DeAndre Hopkins, it just looks terrible. It looks worse and worse. You traded away a guy fighting with Bill O'Brien. Then you fired Bill O'Brien, so that you just lost DeAndre Hopkins for nothing. You lost him because you chose the coach over D-Hop, and then you fired the coach who didn't like DeAndre Hopkins. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad for Brett Coleman, who's a Houston Texans fan. Oh my gosh. But I will say, man, Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins have both really, really elevated their respective offenses, and I just want to say, like, it's clear those trades really paid off, and I don't know if that's the beginning of something where we'll see more and more star receivers get traded. Either it's going to show that they're so valuable you don't get rid of them, or teams are going to say, hey, we'll pay up. We will trade. If we have a young quarterback, we're building our roster, we will pay up to go get a receiver. So I'm curious to see how the D-Hop trade and the Stephon Diggs trade, to see what kind of impact they have on the trade market. Now, whoever had the play-by-play call, I don't know who the guy was in the Cardinals-Bills game. Whoever had that call had a really cool thing. He called it Murray Magic. He's like, we have some Murray Magic. He said it in the fourth quarter when Kyler throws that long touchdown. And, we're going to have a lot of magics. What am I trying to say here? I had this great line. I just butchered it. I apologize. We're going to have a lot of moments of Murray Magic. There's the alliteration in Arizona for years to come. And I really think that Kyler Murray's going to win the NFL MVP. The amount of graphics I've seen kind of suggesting he should is ridiculous. Look on Instagram. It's like, oh, everybody in the world kind of universally goes. I keep seeing comparisons between Lamar Jackson through this many games compared to Kyler Murray. It's like, man, you guys really want Kyler to win MVP. And I mean, like, it's kind of wild. Even during the Buffalo Bills game, there was that, what was it? The Queen's Gambit, great show, by the way, on Netflix. There was a Queen's Gambit graphic suggesting that Kyler potentially could or should be the NFL MVP. So I think the media really, really wants Kyler to win the NFL MVP. I don't know that that's necessarily wrong. I mean, like, yeah, he's phenomenal. He's a star. He looks great. I will just point out that MVP is becoming very, very predictable. It's becoming very obvious. Oh, yeah, you have people love a new story. Anytime you got Patrick Mahomes was this new guy on the block. Oh, my gosh, he's amazing. Oh, Lamar Jackson, a new guy in his second year. Bam, he exploded. Kyler Murray, new guy, second year in the league. I knew going into the year, based on the progress he made in year one, they added DeAndre Hopkins. The coach is great. I knew that Kyler Murray was going to explode. And it feels like Kyler Murray is destined to win the 2020 NFL MVP award. Now, I do want to say, we need to call this game for what it was. The Cardinals and the Bills. This game was a coin toss. I mean, it really literally came down to a Hail Mary at the very end of the game. It was a fun, exciting game, but I think both teams deserve a lot of credit, the Bills and the Cardinals. I mean, both quarterbacks had late interceptions. They both also had late touchdown passes. So, I don't know. Arizona did have the ball with a 3-point lead with 4:31 left. They were unable to get a first down and run out the clock. That's interesting to me. It's kind of a flaw in the Cliff Kingsbury offense where they really struggle to, at the end of a half or at the end of a game, run out the clock and eat up clock to avoid giving the ball back to the other team. But again, either team could have won this game, and I think that, in my opinion, obviously, both the Bills and the Cardinals deserve an immense amount of respect for their performances on Sunday. Now, the Bills quarterback, Josh Allen. Josh Allen. I've kind of figured out who Josh Allen is becoming, who he reminds me of. Unfortunately, they also called it out during the game. I'm not going to sound very original at this point because right as I had the thought, whoever was calling that game between the Cardinals and the Bills was like, oh yeah, he looks just like Big Ben. And yeah, Josh Allen is a younger Big Ben. That's exactly what he is. I mean, look at the Steelers quarterback, Big Ben Roethlisberger. You see an older, mature version of Josh Allen. And they have nearly identical styles of play where I think it's the way that Josh Allen extends plays and avoids sacks, where it's not with speed or elusiveness the way Russell Wilson does. He's not as slippery as Kyler Murray or Deshaun Watson or Russell Wilson. You know, Josh Allen avoids a sack with his size and with his brute force, literally like pushing defenders off of him and shucking people away. And Big Ben, if you go back to Big Ben's career, I'll never forget. I grew up in the Northwest. I remember watching Big Ben against the Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl, I think in 2005, I believe. And I mean, Big Ben used to run around way more than anybody talks about. I keep hearing people say, like, he's a younger, more athletic Big Ben. He's just a younger Big Ben. Ben Roethlisberger used to run around a ton. So I see a lot of similarities between Josh Allen and Big Ben. Now, Big Ben, as the years have gone on, he's gotten more and more precise. He's more accurate. He's got a beautiful deep ball. They love, Josh Allen and Big Ben love to throw the ball vertically a lot. And Big Ben is now what I would call kind of a quarterback prototype. It's like a template for, hey, we have a guy of a similar body type with a similar skill set. We can turn him into a Big Ben type of quarterback. And that's exactly what Josh Allen has done, and he is doing. And so the prototype for Big Ben, you got Big Ben, you got Josh Allen. And by the way, if you're at home, take a drink every time I said Big Ben in that segment. Oh my gosh. And then the other guy, though, in the lineage, the next kind of, another kind of guy in the Big Ben prototype is DJ Uiagalelei. DJ Uiagalelei. Got it right. I know that's how you say it. I nailed it. Oh, finally. It took me like 37 million times saying it. DJ Uiagalelei. Uiagalelei. Nailed it. He's the next guy after Josh Allen. Him and Josh Allen play very similarly. They're both kind of the same build as Big Ben. And I think as the years go on, we're going to see Josh Allen in his older years when he can't run as well. He's going to be still avoiding sacks, throwing the ball vertically a lot, really precise. That's who Josh Allen's going to become. And eventually you'll see, watch in like 4 years when DJ Uiagalelei goes to the NFL, we'll be saying, oh, he looks just like Josh Allen, because that's the next guy of that prototype. So, I don't know. I had a really great time. I really, really enjoyed watching the Cardinals and the Bills. It was a great time. Kyler's going to win MVP. The trades for the receivers was great. And I don't know. I don't have anything but praise for both sides, actually. I felt like it was an honorable game by both teams. And I really had a great time watching the Bills and the Cardinals.